Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we will going to cover Alteryx in and out configuration. So under the in and out configuration, we have multiple tools. Input data tool, directory, text, map, date and time, browse and out. So all this topic we will cover in two different videos. In the first video, I'll cover the half of the portion. In the second video, I'll cover the remaining one. So without any further delay, let's move on to my Alteryx application. So here it is my Alteryx application. And first we will focus on the input data tool. So input data tool by the name is suggesting we can bring the file into the Alteryx, right? So we can import the multiple file into the Alteryx. We can import CSV, Excel, many different type. We can connect SQL database, right? So there are many different type of databases that we can directly connect with the Alteryx, and we can build our flow. So right now, I'll take a simple example of XLS to connect to the Alteryx. So what I'll do is I'll click on setup connection and I'll click on files. So you can see that all the supported file type over here, the multiple options that we have. So what we need is we need the XLS1. So I'll select the XLS1 and here it is suggesting me the folder that I need to select. The moment I click on open, here it will ask me to select the different sheet. So right now we can select the sheet number 1. This is a uh, at a time we can select only the one sheet, but in my upcoming videos I will also cover if we have a multiple sheet how we can import everything together. I will cover that in my upcoming video, so request you to please stay tuned with my videos. So I'll select the sheet 1 and I'll click on OK. Right, the moment I click on OK, I can see that the config on the configuration pane, all the information is highlighted over here. So the file type is Microsoft Excel and sheet 1 I have selected, and here the sample preview is there. So there's a first 100 record, in the preview we can see that. So I'm okay with this information and I'll click on run button. The moment I click on the run button, you can see the Alteryx is giving me the message that it's successfully imported. And here I can see the data in the form of table, right? So it's a very simple data. We have like serial number, segment, client, and balances given over here. Only the 8 record are there, but in the real time scenario, you will have the million and billions of record, in the database. So yeah. So this is all about the input data tool in this tutorial. Now we will focus on the another tool that we have, that is a directory tool. So in the directory tool, the name is suggesting it will give us all the information which is there in the particular directory or particular folder, right? So here we have, in the configuration pane, we have different option available. So in the directory one, we can select the path, right? Which folder we want the information. So right now I'll select the download and this one, right? So this folder, I want to extract the information, whatever files and everything, all this information I want to extract from this folder. So I'll select this folder and click on OK. Here, you can just mention the file, like if you only want to see the CSV file, you can just mention the CSV, XLS, right? Whatever file extension you can just give over here, you will only able to see those information. So there are the scenario wherein you have the multiple reports coming in, in the specific folder. So just now I'm just connecting to my personal folder. However, in the real time scenario, you will have a shared drive, share a drive wherein the each folder will have like hundreds of report coming in. So one report will be in the form of CSV or Excel, another report will be in the form of PDF for the other users. So in that case, you want to segregate, like you want only the CSV or Excel file to build the workflow, right? So that's why this extension file is given. If you want to include the subfolder under the main folder, you can click on that. For example, your mail folder, for example, you have a office is a main folder. Under that, you have a different locations folder. So if you want to include those subfolders as well, you can do that. But if you don't want, I don't want to do that because I just have only one folder over here. So I will not click on this option and I'll just click on the run button to see what information is available in that particular folder. So you can see that I can see all this information like full file directory, file name, all this information is available over here, right? So this information is basically so this is like you might have a question why we are using this directory tool, why we want to know all this file and everything. So when you build the complex flow, when you will start building a complex flow wherein if you want to combine, I'll take simple example. If you want to combine the 100 files together in order to build a data lake or something like that, you want to know, right, how many files are there in a particular folder, right? So in that case, you will use this directory tool as a, as a sub tool to extract the information, how many files you have, you want to know how many, extension and all those data you want to know, right? So you can use this tool as a helper tool, for this complex workflow. So I'll going to create that flow in my upcoming videos. So in that case, you will come to know how we are using the directory tool. So this is all about the directory tool. Now we will focus on the next one, which is the text input tool, right? So the text input tool, basically, this is the tool, which user himself can enter the data over here. So you might be wondering why we're using, the text input tool, why we're not using the input data tool. So like there is big difference between these two. So in the input data tool, your input file is in the different folder, is it's outside of Alteryx, and as and when you update the new file in the specific folder and you run your flow, your information will be changed, because everyday file will have a different information, right? So your flow will, your once you refresh your flow, your information will be changed inside that. But over here in the text input one, this will create a different file inside the Alteryx. Means even if you delete the file that you have in the specific folder, this will not impact your Alteryx flow, because you have imported the text input data, right? Because you have created that. So we have a multiple option over here, right? So you can, you can import the file here, right? Directly from the folder. You can like copy the data, you can paste the data, you can delete the row, you can insert the row, and in that anything that you want to do, you can do that. For example, let's insert a column over here, right? So I'll insert 2 3 columns, and I'll insert the few row as well, right? So if I want to change it, I'll double click on that, and I'll just write something like serial number, right? Here I'll write a name, here I'll write a age, right? And here I can just input this data, for example, CSK. Okay, sorry, serial number would be, I'll double click one and I'll type one, I'll two, I'll type three, right? I'm just taking just example. I'll just type CSK. I'll type HID. I'll type this one, Chennai. I'll keep age like 20, 30, and 40. So this is how you input the data over here. And the moment you click on run, this will convert into the table form, right? And then you can use it, right? But the one biggest disadvantage of this is that, it will take some extra memory inside your Alteryx. But yeah, but if you delete but it is not dependent on any input file. So every time you will have the same information. So if you have a similar information, like a static kind of data you have, for example, the mapping file that you wanted to create, you can use this tool, right? Or for other stuff, like if the file is very dynamic, every day the data is getting changed, then it is advisable to use the input data, right? So this is all about the text input data. Now we will move on to the next one, which is map input, right? So to be honest, the map input is very rarely used in the financial industry, but obviously it is mainly used in the transport industry and CPG company, wherein the area and the map requirement is there. But in the financial industry, it is very less used. So let's see how we can use this tool. So in the input map tool, over here we right now it is none. So let me take one of the theme over here, the base map. I selected a dark. So you can see the world map over here in the dark, right? You can select light as well, right? So based on your selection, you can do that. And then you can just hover your mouse over here to, to move to a specific region or specific location that you want to select. For now, I'll select the India. So you see the India is over here. And over here we have plus sign. If you click on the plus sign, it will zoom in, right? So for example, the India, right? We want a Nasik as a location. So right now the mode is drawn. So what we can do is we can select this one and we can put on Nasik, right? So in Nasik, I can just type office over here and I can click on save. Right? The moment I did that, I'll click on run button, and then this will create this kind of table for me. So it will show me the office over here. and this spectacle object it has created. So that's all for this video for this tool, the map input tool. Now we will focus on the output tool. So output tool by the name itself. So once you develop your flow, you need a final output saved in in the specific location or in the specific file. So output tool is basically used for that. So it's coming in the end, right? So you can just click on the setup connections, and you want to save your output in which format. So right now we want to save the output in XLSS format. So I'll select that particular format and I can select the location where I want to save my file. So I can just take as the test, and I can just click on save button. Here I can define my sheet name. So for example, I'll keep it as it is, the sheet one, and I'll click on OK, and I'll click on run button. Right now, it is giving me an error because we have to give any kind of input over here. So I'll quickly take one input over here, and I can just give, for example, I'll select this one. Okay, so I'll click on run button, right? So this is my input, right? And I need to connect this to this one, right? The moment I connect it to this, so in between we can do the multiple things, right? We can uh, do the modification, into the data, or we can, so let's say I'll take the select tab over here, and I don't want each and every column. What I want is I want only 3 columns over here. So I can select this and I can run my flow. So we can do the modification in the data. We can do as per our requirement. We can build the flow, and then the final output will be saved into the specific location that we have selected. So we have, I think, selected this one. So if I open this file, you can see we are only able to see the 3 columns that we have selected in the select tab. So this is all about the output tool that you. So thank you so much for your time. So this is all about for this video. Thank you so much.